Good. Now welcome back to where we ended. So now we said that the operating variance basically talks about operating statement talks about we computing the actual profit from the budgeted profits. Yes, it's a reconciliation between the budgeted profit and then the actual profit, and then you are done. Good. So that is it. Now, there's a question in the book that I want you to try for me. So you try that question. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Hey, that question is gone. It's here. Okay, let me go for it. It's not here. Wow. We're in trouble. Okay, good. So that question is in now. Yes, it's in. So I was explaining this question why the line went off. So let me start again. So we said that this is the question. So there's a nice question. Yeah, we'll give you a full question. So far, all the variances that we've calculated, we bring it together to come and assemble it here. All the variants that we've calculated. So starting from direct material down up to the fixed, production overheads. Good. So this is a standard cost card. And then this is the actual cost card. So the operating statement you prepare. But what we did was the absorption, agreed. Yes, what we did was the absorption. Now let me go back and explain this. Now with the absorption, the only difference will be, good. The difference will be this, the volume. You have to pick this, the contribution, because we said that the sales volume variance is the difference between the budgeted sales unit and the actual sales unit, multiplying by the standard profit or the standard contribution. If I'm using absorption, is the standard profit. So what we've done here is what the absorption. But if you're using the marginal costing, what a slow motion. If you're using the marginal costing, then for the marginal costing, first, the volume you have to use contribution. So you find the difference and you multiply by the contribution. Good. And when we come here, the fixed production overhead section, it will not have the capacity and efficiency. It will only have fixed production expenditure. And then everything remains the same. Then you are done. Good. Everything remains the same, and then you are done. Perfect. Okay, so that is it. Good. Then we use this question. So you use this question for me, and you try it up using the full cost approach, that's the absorption, and then the marginal. All of them, the solution is available. So this one is the absorption. So you first of all calculate all the ratios, including the idle time. All the ratios. So kindly do that for me. All the ratios. Then when you are done, then you prepare the operating statement. So I've seen them, we started. Planned profit is before sales and admin cost. It's before cost. Because we said that when you're done, you subtract the admin from it. So it should be before admin. All the variances. So sales variances, price, sales price, sales volume, they are there. So you put them together. Then you sum it up, you get an answer. You can finally less it from where? This one. So then you get an answer. And the answer is 27,700 on this figure. Look at where it came. It's supposed to be here. It's supposed to be somewhere under this. So we call it actual sales minus standard cost of sales. Actual sales minus what? Standard cost of sales. Good. There are cost variance. I think this one is the ICA approach. I think the ACC approach, we have the standard profit for actual production. Yes, I think that's that one. Cost variance. Have you seen favorable and adverse? All of them one side. So material price, when you calculate it was adverse. So list all of them, including labor, idle time. Don't forget. So variable production overhead for the two. The fixed overhead, the fixed production cost, we need the three. The expenditure, efficiency, and capacity. You are done. The rest is not important. Then you get all. This is the total favorable less the total adverse. That will give us adverse of what? Net adverse of 3,600. Then you add it to the 27,000, which is dodging here. And then you get what? You get 24,100. So that's the actual profit before sales. Then you less your admin from it. Admin is 18,000, get 6,100. And this is the check. This one is the check. So you calculate the actual profit and see if it will be 6,100. Yes, it was truly 6,100, the actual profits. Then you are done. You can also do the same thing with that of what? The marginal cost system. And I've explained the difference between the marginal and then the absorption. So I want you calculate and then you start the game. So can you do so for me? And now the answer will still be the same, to not change. Good. And then we have deriving actual data from the cost card and variances. Yeah, this is what I was explaining, that they can ask you. Yeah. Good. Now we said that good. Deriving the actual data from the standard cost details and variances. Good. So they can give you the variances and ask you to now derive the actual data or derive the, what's the name? Derive the standard cost card, any of them. So use this one as a test case. So kindly calculate this one for me. So calculate the quantity material used. So you try it, this example. Now let's go to the mix and yield. So let's use 10 minutes to finish the mix and yield. We are going to use 10 minutes to finish the mix and yield. 5 minutes for mix, 5 minutes for yield. If we see.
Okay.
So calculating mix and yield. Now we said that the material usage variance can be subdivided into material mix. So whatever you mix will determine the yield. Good. So mix variance, let's see. The mix variance, let's see. Good. Now let's go to the board. Quickly, let's go to the board. Sorry, put this on somewhere. Let's go to the board. Let's go to the board. Mix and yield variances, you are welcome. 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 Hey, what a slow motion. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Sorry, I guess that it will not incorporate in the recording. Normally, the recording is not like that. Okay, so mix and yield. So mix variance is nothing but the difference between the standard mix, standard what? Mix and versus the actual mix. Wow, that's interesting. So let's assume that, hey, what a slow motion. Now let's assume that we prepare sobolo, Let's assume that we prepare sobolo. And then the standard mix. So it means that each cup of sobolo that we prepare, we need 3 kg of, let's say, of bisa leaf. Bisa leaf. 3 kgs of bisa leaf. Of bisa. That's the hibiscus flower. Or the sobolo leaf. Good. And then let's assume that 2 kgs of spices. 2 kg of what? Spices. Good. And then each kg of the hibiscus flower leaf or the bisa leaf. Okay, so the bisa, let's see, each bisa leaf and then the spices. Good. Each one is at what? Let's assume that we sell it at 10 Ghana cedis. No. One alone is called, I think it's 6 cedis or so, or 3 cedis. Let's assume that it's 5 cedis. And then the spices, ginger, mentia, what again? Pepper, in fact, the 5-star, good. All of them put together to prices are normally expensive. So let's say 10 Ghana cedis. Good. This is the standard mix. So normally, if you are preparing your sobolo, this is the combination per each cup. So that's each unit. So per unit. So the unit cost will be 15 Ghana cedis. What again? Then 20 Ghana cedis. So this is the standard, per your budget, per your normal action, per your phenomenon, per your past details. How we get that? Good. Let me see. So this is the standard cost card. Now versus the actual. Wow. So the actual two, actually we have produced we are setting our own question. We are going to answer it too. We are setting our own question. Actually, we have produced
Ready?
1,500 bottles of Sobolo. 1,500 bottles. That bottle is the 500 ml. Good. No, not 500 ml. So milliliters. Good. And then we have used 500 by 3. That's 4,500. We have used 4,000 kg of the bisa leaf. Of the bisa. That's the leaf. Sobolo leaf. Good. Meanwhile, the spices too. In fact, the actual one, the spices what we make the spices heavy. That's the mean to be very great. So the spices too, that one was more. So the spice we use 3,500 spices. So kg of the spices. This one is kg. Normally it can be liter. Can even add liters to it. The water, good. I don't want to trouble. So spices. Now all of them at a cost, at a certain cost. Now the issue is this. You realize that this is the standard mix and then the actual mix. So the difference between the standard mix and then the actual mix is what you mean by mix variance. And then the difference between the standard yield and then the actual yield is what? Yield variance. So basically that's all. So we are going to pick one illustration. I wanted to complete this question. I don't know how. Let me capture it. The question is nice. I'll complete it and bring it back again. Because if I say I want to set a question, we will keep long. If I say that I want to set a question, we will keep long. So what we do is, let me screenshot it. I'll edit it again when I get some free chance. Now let's go to the note and then pick one of the illustration questions. Then we do it. So yes, I've captured it. So let me go and pick questions. So there's a format. The format that we are going to use. So I'll walk you through the formats first or the steps first. So the steps first. So we pick a question, then I'll walk you through the steps. Then we are done. So calculating the mix and yield. So the mix first. So the steps is here. In fact, this step is plenty. Yeah, I was talking plenty. Don't worry. Let's go short way. Now to get the mix variance. Now that you know that the mix variance is what is the difference between the standard mix and actual mix. That's all. Step 1. Calculate the total. Step 1. The first step. Calculate the total mix. Total actual mix. The actual quantity used. Here it was 4,500 and 3,000 or so. Good. So you put them together, making 7,500. That's a total. So that's the step 1. Calculate the total actual mix. So total actual mix. Good. So I'll do it here for you. Just that I'll leave some space. So that's the step 1. So let me back it. So I'll write here mixed variance. So if I state it and I'll back it with what? With illustration. When I state it, I'll back it with illustration. So mixed variance. Good. So the actual, right? But I don't write it now after everything because there's something here that's actual mix. So what's the actual mix? So you list the product. How many units? So, oh, the question is not here, the product. So let's go to the question. I'll use this one for illustration. Okay, so the question. Yeah, the question is here. Example, material usage mixed variance. They will ask you to calculate the material usage. That one I won't do it. You will do it for me individually. The material usage variance, we can calculate it. And when you are calculating it, please calculate it individually. We are doing just the mixed aspect. Because when you break the usage down, you get mix and yield. So now 5 kg at this. So what's the total actual unit consumed? So let's start. In example, a company manufactures a chemical called dynamite using two chemicals. I like this question. It was flash and bang. Yes, the standard material usage cost of one dynamite is as follows. It's not as follows. Dynamite. Okay. Now flash. Good. Flash is 5 at 2 cedi. Like I said, they have so many materials. Here the materials will be more than 2. They can give you 3. I've seen a question which is 4. I've seen a question which is 5. In fact, that one is terrible if it's 5. Maximum must be 3. Please, it's not the plenty of the item that will make the student understand the principle. Good. Now let's see. So in a particular period, 80 units of dynamite were produced from 600 kg of hot flash. The actual quantity used is here 600. And 750 kg of what banged. So if I want to get the step 1, total actual mix. So in total, they have mixed what? 600 and what? 750, right?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hi.
Okay, I'm coming. I think I have to do my thing again. Okay, good. That's fine. Let's continue. Sorry, let's continue. Okay, so it means that in total, step 1, get the total actual material consumed. So flash is what? 600 and bang is 750. Agreed.
Yes,
Yes.
please.
Good. So flash. So I write here flash 600. Let me leave space because I write something here. I write something and let me leave the space. So let me write the flash here. I hope you can see from this angle.
Yes.
Good. So flash is 600 here, actual. Then the bang,
It's 750.
750. So good. The marker. I can manage this one. 750. So you total it. That will give us 1350, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. That's the step 1. So I've seen the step 1. It's so straightforward. Go to the question. Pick the actual. So even if mix and yield come and you cannot solve the question, don't even worry yourself. Just do this one for the exam. At least I can make something for you. Now let's see. Let's continue the game. And then step 2, determine the standard mix. In fact, that's what you're supposed to determine first. So the standard mix. Step 2, determine the standard mix. How do you get a standard mix? Step 2, determine what? The standard mix. Now let's see how we determine the standard mix. Go to the standard. They will tell you that, okay, like the Sobolo example. If you want to produce a unit of Sobolo, you need, wait, I forgot the visa. Let's see this question. I forgot the question that I just said right now. Let's move on. Now let's go to the standard cost card. If you want to produce 1 unit of the dynamite, you need how many flash, how many bang? You need 5 and you need 10, right?
5.
So
Yes.
it will be 5:10. That's the standard mix. Agreed.
Yes.
Good. 5:10. This can also be 1:2. Agreed.
Yes.
Yes.
But that 1:2, I don't really like that one. I don't really like the 1:2. There's a danger. Most of the answers, if you use the 1:2, some of the questions, I think there's a one like that I said that if you use the 1:2, you can't get it. I prefer using the 5:10, except for situations where they don't give you per unit basis. Then you have to now find their common ratio. Good. The common
Hello, sir.
ratio. Yeah, I'm here.
Assuming you use 1:2 at the final answer, you can multiply it by 5 now.
Okay, good. In that instance, we want the mix. You get the answer correct. In fact, for the mix, you get correct. Everything will be correct. But when you go to the yield,
Yeah.
the issue has to do with the yield. It will make the yield calculation be a bit terrible. That is
Okay.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, so good. Okay. So the mix is 5:10 or 1:2. When you use it for the mix. Hey, trouble. Coming over. Good, 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 good. Okay, let's continue the game. I think the camera is coming black. Let's continue the game. Okay, so that's 2:1. Then now that we know the standard mix, use the standard mix to apportion this unit. Use the standard mix, that's the step what? 3. So step 1, determine the actual mix, and then relax for a while. Then you come back again, and then you use the standard mix to apportion it. Use the standard mix to apportion it. Use the standard mix to apportion it. Good. Come in just a second. Use the standard mix to apportion it. Use the standard mix to apportion it. I think. Is it okay now? Good. Use the standard mix to apportion it. Use the standard mix to apportion it. It's still okay. I think it's okay now. Use the standard mix to apportion it. So what's the standard mix? So you are going to use the standard mix to apportion it. 2:1. So you call it standard to get a standard mix. So you'll be standard what? Mix. Standard mix. Standard mix. Agree.
Yes.
So let's share this between this. So it should be 2:1. Then we are done for the mixed variance. But if you get that correct, that's all for the mixed variance. So what do we get? So there will be, if you are using 5/10, then it will be 5/15 times 1350 for that of the first one. Second one will be 10/15 times 1350. Good. That's perfect. Where's the calculator? So the calculator, that's 1/3. 1/3. In fact, you can use the 1:2. Yeah, that I have to walk you through that question. Why?
The first one is 450.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. 450. And then this one, the difference, that'll give us 9. So 450 times 2 is 900. 450 times 2, 900. Good. Sum all this one up, 1350. Now let's go to these ones are in units. Put the unit here. But the remaining ones, in fact. So we're on step 3. So step 1, determine the total actual what? Actual mix. Step 2, find the standard mix. Step 3, use the standard mix to apportion the actual mix to get what you call standard mix. Step 4, compare and then find a variance. So step 4, you compare and then you find a variance. So good. So step 4 will be good. So step 4 will be the step 4. So here you write the variance here. Just that this variance is in units, in terms of units. So this is the standard, this is the mix. So what's the variance? The variance will be
150.
good, 150. But here's 150. What about here?
The same 150.
Okay, that one is the same 150, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, adverse or favorable. The first one is adverse or favorable.
The first one is adverse.
Perfect. So adverse. Why? Because
And
your standard is telling you that you have to put 450 beside leaf, 450 leaves in the action in the unit, but you end up putting 600. So you put more, you have mixed more. So when so you have mixed more. So now if you have mixed more than what's supposed to be, then it's what? Adverse. Here your standard is saying that mix 900 bands so that the thing will bang well. Yes, so that the dynamite will bang well. But you end up mixing what? 750. So even though it's 150, it is what? Favorable. You mix the mix is cheaper. So we said that favorable mix occur when the actual mix is what? Cheaper. Cheaper than the standard. So this one, the actual mix is what? Cheap than the standard. Please, what's the overall variance?
0.
Perfect. So we always the unit is 0. Why? Because the difference. This is the actual total standard. There's no difference between this and this. So it might be what? 0. So if you are getting 0, then check your answer. Then the material price per unit. Material price, standard material price per unit. Per kg. What's the material price per kg? For that of the bang and then the flash, then we are almost through. I think when we copy the yield, then say bye bye. The other people are also trooping in. Good. So that will give us when the solution. So the standard price per kg is for 2 series and 3 series, right?
Yes.
Go 2 series and 3 series. So let's go and then put it up. So 2 Ghana series, 2 series and 3 series. So this one give us 300 Ghana. So this is the actual variance in Ghana cities. So this one give us 300. Agreed.
Yes.
Perfect. Then this one give us 450.
50.
Then this one is adverse versus what? Favorable. You
Bravo.
underline it, then you put it together. But here the overall will not be 0, not at all, because valuation has come inside. So that's 150 favorable, right?
Yes.
Cool. So we are done for the mixed variance. Everything so interesting. This is the part 1. Now let me quickly do the yield, and then let's see how best we can do this. Let me quickly do the yield. Let me quickly go through the yield, and then you are fine. Oh, the other part is not coming. Good. I think it's okay now. Good. The thing is not coming well. Can we do the yield variance quickly? Now with the yield variance, it talks about the difference between the standard yield and the actual yield. There are 2 ways of calculating the yield. So I'll go in for the simplest one, but I'll show you all the methods. All the methods are in the book. I think there are 3 methods. I have only 2 in the book. So the 2, be familiar yourself with 1. Good. Now let's see. I'll go in for the simplest one, the yield. Let's go in for the output method, the simplest one. How do you calculate that one? So let's go to the board. Let's go to the board. So you have yield. So for yield, hope you can see from the yield.
Yes.
So for the yield, I'm supposed to shift this one up. The marker is our last one. Good. So for the yield variance, what you have to do, you compare the standard units, the standard versus the actual.
Actual.
Perfect, you are done. So what's the standard yield? So the standard output, the budgeted output. So standard, you need to be here like this. So what's the standard? So per the standard, we're supposed to produce how many with this combination, with this yield, with this combination? We are here. So
450.
450. Okay, 450. Infiltrating into dynamite to produce. Okay. Okay, so the actual was given to us. Okay. Let's see, the actual was given to us. Okay, we can get the standard yield. Don't worry at all. We can get it by ourselves. Don't even worry at all. We can get it by ourselves. If they don't give it to us, don't worry at all. We can get it by what? By it ourselves. So we pick the standard. You pick this figure and you divide it by the total mix. That's where the issue will come in. You pick this one and then you divide it by what? The total mix. That will give us the output, the total standard mix. So here the standard. If we have key 1350 in, then we expected to it must yield a result of what? 1350 divided by what? The standard mix, the total. Now if it is
15.
5:10, right? Good. So this is where they all come in. So someone will use 15, the answer will be different. If you use 3, the answer will be different because the person using 3 will assume 1 is to what? 2. So take note. That's why I say here I want the original version. Good. Though there's a way of doing this, but I still prefer the 15. So what will be the answer? 90.
90.
Perfect. So it means that per our standard, whatever we key in, we're supposed to produce what? 90 units. Then what about the actual? Then the actual 80. So what's the variance? The variance is 10 units, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Now this 10 units, anytime you want units and you want to multiply it by something, what do we say? You pick the standard. So let's go down. So you pick the standard. So the standard is what? Yeah, the standard is, you have to pick standard material cost per unit. Standard material cost. So let's go to the question, go and pick it up quickly. So standard material cost will be, standard material cost is 40 Ghana, the total. Let's say you pick the 40, the total, this very one, go, the total. So if they don't give it to you, you have to add it yourself. It's the total. So 10 plus 30, making 40. Good. So how we get that?
Yeah.
Because this 10 is unit. So this unit is made up of what? Flash and bang. So therefore, standard material cost per unit is 40 Ghana cedis. Is it cedis or it was in dollars? Most of my questions are in dollars. Okay, so 40 times 10, that will give us what? $400, right?
400. 400, yes.
So perfect. So $400. And that's the end of the game. So $400. So that's the mix. So here's the favorable adverse. You didn't even notice that. It will start from here. You're supposed
This
to.
one is adverse. It's
Perfect.
adverse.
It's supposed to yield 90, but it did yield what? 80. So adverse.
80.
So adverse. We are done with the mix and yield. That's all. Now, what left is the. Oh, camera has gone down. Sorry. Let's come back. Good. Now, what left is the. Hey, this one to be like, whoa. What left is how to incorporate losses. Yes, when there's a loss in the process, how do you incorporate it in it? So that's what left. I think I've done 1, 2 in the handout or so. So you go through for me and you'll be fine. So this is the end of the mix and yield. What left is left with only 2 aspects of variance. Then we are done with variance. Left with the mix and yield for that of sales. And then we finally come to the planning and operational variance, in which you've done it, but I didn't notice you that it was the planning variance that we are doing. Last week question that we solved, it was one of them. So we will officially and then solve it. And then from there, then we calculate the 3 musketeers. I'll ask you to go and calculate it for me first. It's in November, either November or 2019. I think 2019 past question. So kindly do that for me, and then you'll be fine. So this is how far the good Lord will bring us. We will meet on when we meet. So kindly go
Sunday.
through. Yes. If there's any question, and then you let me know, or you can forward it to the page
Okay.
for discussion before Sunday. Okay.
Okay.
There must be a trial work because I cannot finish. Oh, and then without giving you some. So just that this one, what we did, the solution to is in there. So you can go through the solution. I think you'll be fine.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You have to also give you some. In fact, try last sittings. Is it last sitting? Last 2 sitting or it's last sitting. Hey. Please try last 2 sitting. No, last sitting. Yes, try that one for me. Last sitting's own and last 2 sitting variance question. I'm done. That's the homework for the day. Perfect.
Okay, thank you, sir.
So thank you very much for coming. I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Don't forget to subscribe.